Hello, everyone. This is Divine Due Diligence coming on here, giving you my due diligence of time, experience, and acknowledgement. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day thus far. Starting off, mine is grand and dandy. So I am so happy to be back on here, giving you inspiration, enlightenment, truth, and the love from the divine. I wanted to let you know I did have to go on a sabbatical. Not of my choice, not of my own. But after my birthday, I began to get spiritual attacks. I didn't recognize what it was at the time because I was so on a high, how God was changing my life and rearranging my life to where it was and is going. But I recognized right after I had the pleasure of having my boss online, and he was giving the inspiration of how he got to where he is now and who I'm basically associated with, that the attacks were coming. Now, mind you, during this time, as I stated, I didn't recognize where it was coming from, but God gave me a pleasure of entering into rooms. I mean rooms of where they were coming from. I had the pleasure of seeing who was talking, what was being said, why was it being said, in all detail. Now, mind you, the higher I go in God, the more developed my gifts come. And I'm letting you know, the more you develop in God, the more God elevates your gifts, okay? But I want to say this. These gifts that you and I have, did not just come out of nowhere. You have to go through something. You have to experience something to get to the elevation of ascension. And I recognize, because I'm in the elevation of ascending, that the fiery darts going to come. I'll know they're hits, but they will not prosper. But I recognize there are certain people, and there's really one in particular that I'm going to talk about, because I will be on here sparingly all day, because this is my due diligence of justice. And it's not by my will, it's by God's will and God's design. I'm going to say this again. When you are a prophet, when you are a messenger of God, you give warning and you can give judgment. Not to judge anybody, but to tell people the judgment that God has given. This is a job of a prophet. So I'm going to say this. I say this, my boss say this all the time at funerals, but this is right for this at this given time. The poem is, miss me, but let me go. When I come to the end of the road, and the sun has set for me, I want no tears in a gloom-filled room. Why cry for a soul set free? For this is a journey we all must take, and each must go alone. It's all a part of the master's plan. A step on the road to home. Miss me a little, but not for long. Not with your head bowed low. Remember the love that we once shared. Miss me, but let me go. But remember my songs now and then. Hear the tunes that set me free. And have a glass. Close your eyes, my beloved. Know I'll be what you need. Miss me a little, but not for long. Not with your head bowed low. Remember the love we once shared. Miss me, but let me go. Miss me a little, but not for long. Not with your head bowed low. Remember the love that we once shared. Miss me, but let me go. Miss me, but let me go. First, I just really want to give honor to God, to his spirit that dwells, rests, rule, and abide within me. But at the end of the day, I'm asking, I beseech you, brother, miss me, but let me go. At the end of the day, if I came into your life and you did such a thing towards me, miss me, but let me go. My life is no longer centered around the people that I left behind. That does not mean that I don't love you. That just means that my dwelling place is not with you anymore. There have been times that I was in rooms that there really was no love there. It was all that what you could get out of a person. And I had to truly find that out for a mission such a time as this. We all want the grass when the grass isn't green anymore. But we have to recognize when something good comes into our lives, we must treat that thing as a gift, because it's not always promised. It's not always promised. You don't know what the next day will hold. And that's not just for a life. That's within and everything that comes into your life. We must recognize that when God gives us a gift, we must cherish it. We must treasure it. We must know that when a gift comes in our life, it's not to destroy or mishandle. It's to take control of it, use it for what God has given you to use it for, allow it to be a blessing into your life, and not trash the treasure. So when your treasure becomes trash, it becomes a treasure for someone else. We must recognize that treasure is not always going to last. It's up for us to make that treasure to build or to dissolve. So however way that you dissolve a relationship, a friendship, a family member, however the case may have been, we must use the time to recognize what went wrong. Why did it go that way? What was the reasons that it went that way? We all have to know that each thing that we do in our lives, there are lessons and may be held to pay afterwards if the lesson wasn't learned. If the lesson was not learned. So develop your understanding, develop your knowledge. But the energy and the tug of war that you're doing on me has to stop. I'm not coming back. My life has developed in so many ways that I understand what I am here for. I have recognized that prophets are earth angels. So if you are in touch with a prophet, cherish them. Be in tune with them. There is a passage in the Bible that talks about how a prophet was misunderstood, took for granted, dumped for nothing. But at the end, he rose. I'm talking about Joseph. At the end, they all come back to say, look, I'm sorry. And guess what? Apologies all accepted. But there's no way that I can step down from the throne that God has put me on to go back into a place where that I was taken for granted. We have to all understand who we are in God and trust the fact of why God is placed in our lives, however he gives that understanding for us. So as I said, I had the pleasure of entering into a room because I wanted closure. I wanted understanding. I wanted knowledge of why this situation had to happen to me. So I was taking in each one of the areas of the talk, who was talking, what they were saying. So when it first transpired, when I first started dealing with the person, it came from something that out of nowhere, honestly, and it came from something that people would say that it shouldn't have came from. But you don't know how God will use a relationship, brokenness, used and abused, mistreatment, how God will turn that situation around for the better good for you. The people's minds may not have understood it, but God knows all things, why he put people together, how they put people together, why he did it. But because of how they thought of an earthly standpoint, God knew what he was doing in a spiritual standpoint. And that's what the person did not understand. How can two people come together from some nonsense But it was a setup. It was supposed to be a setup for the better good of mankind. Not just for me, not just for him, but humanity for its own purpose, destiny, and mission. But at the end of the day, people allowed people to come in and tear down what God was trying to build. But there's no loss but from the one that it was stolen from. It wasn't stolen from me because I knew. It was up to the person to find out what God was trying to do. But when we so stuck in ego, when we so stuck in pride, wanting validation from mother, sister, brother, friends, other companions, we miss the mark of the high calling. At the end of the day, I choose God all day. So there were things that I had to go back that I knew. I said, God, why I gotta continuously to go back? I gotta send you back because I gotta let them know this is the lesson. They need to really get the understanding what you are here for. You know, but they don't know. So at the end of the day, Mia, Divine, I'm asking you to do your due diligence of letting them know who I am. Your presence make a difference. Your presence heals, delivers, and set free. Whether it be in love, whether it be in finances, whether it be intelligence, whether it be spiritually, whether it be mentally, whether it be socially, whether it be emotionally, whether it be spiritually, you make a difference. But now it comes to find that because I'm not in your presence no more, that judgment is there. Judgment is there. You didn't understand why you were elevating in finances. I did. You didn't understand why you were elevating mentally. You weren't understanding why you were elevating on a spiritual level. You wasn't understanding why you were developing on an emotional level. How can you stand 10 toes down on something that you don't even understand how you are elevating? You get the mojo, but when I disappear, the mojo is gone. Make sense. But now judgment has come. Mind you, you can dress it up all you want. You can sugarcoat it all you want. You can think what you want to. You can feel how you want to. You can act how you want to. But at the end of the day, we have to recognize when God sent his people in to devour the enemy, cast out demons, whether any area in your life, but they disappear because they was not treated away. You didn't accept them in a way. You didn't care or treasure what God placed in your life. Then you find out why this is not going for me well anymore. Why am I not standing strong how I used to stand strong? I had this once upon a time, but I don't anymore. I will allow superficial things to bring me down. I will allow people to come and drain my spirit. Recognize if you are married to a person and you are drowning, birds of a feather flock together. You have the same spirit that your husband has. You are entwined with that spirit. So if he's being devoured in name, if he's being devoured in judgment, so will you. I was raised. All you have is your name. That's a lie. You have your name because people know your name. But what about your character? What about your morals? What about your dignity? What about your trust? But at the end of the day, when people see you for what you really are, they'll know what dwells really inside of you. You can't dress it up. You can't fake it. You can't fake that funk. Because at the end of the day, it's going to show all over you. The depression, the oppression, how you feel on the inside It's always going to be expressed on the outside. Remember, your light so shine that men may see. That's on the inside. But the expression shows when people say, oh, there's something about you. That glow is really pretty on you. It shows. So whatever is inside of you, whatever you allow to fester or develop, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent, it's going to show. Your envy showed. Your jealousy showed. Your malice showed. Why would somebody want to be around that when they know that's how you feel about them? So yeah, miss me, but let me go. I don't need you sitting in your living rooms or your bedrooms having pillow talk about me. Because at the end of the day, I promise you, every time you put your mouth on me, I develop, I extend to the highest extent. So there's nothing that your mouth can do because I learned to transmute the energy. I learned to transmute your mouth. I learned to transmute how you feel about me. Let's be real about a thing. All your lies have done catched up with you. All your talks have done catched up with you. Because now I've developed so well. God allowed me to hear, God allowed me to see, and God allowed me to transmute. And you don't know every time you say something. And that's with anybody. Every time you say something about a person, you only elevating them. That's what the Bible tells you about backbiters. You developing them. You allowing them to be more stronger. What? Mentally, physically, emotionally, socially, and spiritually. You developing the person. So you putting your mouth on them, you trying to cast spells on them, you're the witch. Remember, words are spells. So if you're sitting there having a negative conversation, you worried about my finances, you worried about where I'm at, all I'm doing is returning it back to sender, or I'm transmuting it. And we got to recognize when we return back to sender, you're going to be found out. So keep your mouth off of people of God for real. Keep your mouth off of people. Because any way that you flip it, any way that you toss it, any way that you turn it around, if they truly are God, you will know. You will know. Because nothing can be shaken. Nothing can be broken. All you're making them do is go into a sabbatical with God and ascend. So again I say, miss me, but let me go. Confirmation, miss me, but let me go. I'm not for you. I'm not for you. When I was there around you, I wasn't nothing. All I was there for is to give. Any way that you slice it, that's all I was doing, and I was being drained. It showed. I never looked how I look now. You can tell when a person is being drained of how they look. You're draining a person when they become from beauty to destruction. You're being drained somehow. You look like you got bags under you. You slim it down when you had nice size. Hey, baby, you're being drained some type of way. You had a lot of finances, but your money gone zipped up dry. You got a bar from here, that, and everywhere. You've been drained in your finances. If you feel like you oppressed and depressed, somebody's draining you emotionally. Pick up the signs, people. Tell them, people, miss me, but let me go. And no, it ain't no funeral. But at the end of the day, I had to let that junk die. It's dead to me. The Bible says I must love, but I don't have to like you. That means I don't have to associate with you. That's not biblical principles. I don't care who you are. Family, friend, or no friend. I don't care who you are. I don't have to associate with you. I don't have to deal with you. And I don't have to like you. But one thing I must do is love you. And that's all I'm going to do. So keep talking about me. oh, I got money, so I'm not. No, I've been had money. You were draining me, wanting money out of me. Oh, I let people stop me from going to mortuary. No, you stopped me, because I had to take care of your family. When your husband was less than an infidel. We ain't gonna do that. I get sexually assaulted, but I get blamed for sleeping with your man. We ain't doing that no more. All this undercover slick stuff is a mess. It's a mess. So no, I don't want to talk. I have nothing to talk about. Because you knew all along what was going on. But because the victim in all of it, gets blamed and put the charge on, that's why I elevated. And you still right there. Even in my sickness, I worked. I provided for my children. Even in sickness. So you think God wasn't going to stand on his word? You think God wasn't going to keep his promises to me? It's the same thing that God did for himself, basically Jesus. All the stones was cast on him. They hung him. They crucified him. But now to this day, he reigned. So you mean to tell me that I am totally made in the image and likeness of God? Why am I not going to be in the same place? Let's make it all make sense. So how many times God gotta put you by yourself to activate you and to develop you? Because somebody want to talk behind your back. Somebody want to mistreat you or dog you out. At the end of the day, you got to know who you are in God. You got to know. See, I don't gotta dress myself up. I lay my stuff bare. I don't gotta sugarcoat not a goddamn thing. Because I'm an open book. I am not perfect. No, I'm not. But one thing I learned from every mistakes I did, that's why I'm able to speak about it. With no hold bars, no cut cards, I stand on what I say. And I mean just what I say. So if you gotta have these throne rooms of conversation, of envy, of jealousy, it was told to me so many times, and you don't want to believe it because you think you got a beautiful relationship with these folk. Until you learn to know what it's all about. We gotta trust and know for sure, without a shadow or a doubt, that God is going to situate us to elevate us in him. My job is to enlighten. Give warnings when needed. Allow people to understand where we really are in this world. Because what we live in is really not reality. It's an illusion. The reality is what you make it. So if you make your reality hard, it'll be hard. If you say your reality is whatever you say it is, it'll be just that. I recognize the power that lies within me. And I stand in that authority to use the power of God in a way of understanding and develop it for my better good. It is for me to give you the knowledge of how to use that authority. I don't care who you are. To stand on really the word of God, because it's literally like he said it is. But when we make it our own words and take it for our own understanding and not really what God is trying to convey to us, that's when you're changing it. And it won't work that way. It'll never work the way that you think it should be. Because it's only one way, and it recognizes the Bible is a noun thing. It's not a back then. It's not a future. It's a right now thing. It's reality all wrapped in one. But because it's separated in the Old Testament and the New Testament, people get that confused. It's a right now. I just hit myself. That's old. But that marking is new. What I just did wasn't new. It's past tense because I just did it and now it's not there. But because I did it, I still feel it. If you get what I'm saying. So stop living your life in the past tense. Stop thinking about the future and live in the present now, and you'll recognize how God will speedily develop you. But if we consistently thinking on past tense, or what you shoulda, coulda, woulda, you'll never get to the market. And if you're thinking on the future tense, oh, I hope, I pray, I wonder, you will never understand the reality of now. Oh, this is the day. He says this in his word. This is the day. It's not because you woke up this morning. Every day is at every time, every right now season. Oh, it's today. It's a today. He didn't say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He didn't have a day. It's today. So if we consistently live our lives into a noun presence, you will understand how God really and truly operates. But because you lived on limited belief systems all your life, you will always be limited and not enlightened. And it's not because somebody taught you wrong. They taught you all you knew because that's all they knew. It's up for you to learn. It's up for you to educate yourself. It's up to you to enlighten yourself. This is why we are always told, work out your own soul salvation. With what? Fear and trembling. How are you going to do that when you're still working on limited beliefs that you were taught back then? All the way up to now. The surface rim understanding. The surface rim maltreatment. When are you going to activate the real true God that stands up in you? The authority. With all your might. We got to understand for who we are. Not for your mother, not for your brother, not for your sister, your daughter, your son, your cousin, your friend, your uncle, you are. Stand up for the God in you. So if you feel like you in many rooms, what do you mean by that, divine? If you feel like you are in many mouths, what are you saying, divine? If you feel like the negativity is just too much for you to bear, what are you saying, divine? If you feel like something is off, something is different, the spiritual attacks is near, they are. And it's up for you, as the God in you, to send it back to the camp or transmute that stuff for your better good, whether it be wealth, whether it be in health, whether it be financial, whether it be physically, whether it be emotionally, whether it be socially, emotionally, and spiritually. However you need God to move in your life. But you have to take a stand for your own soul, for your own spirit, mind, body, soul, and spirit. You got to be the one to develop it. Nobody else will. Nobody else will. So everything that I was taught, I took what I knew that was right, and then I had to learn from God developing in me the downloads and the understanding. I had to seek this information, this confirmation, this sign, this miracle, this wonder for myself. And you telling me God don't work off of miracle signs and wonder. This is how you develop. He only can show you that way. Miracles, signs, and wonders. So if you don't get the understanding, that's how he operates, you will never understand him to be who he is. All you got to do is ask the thing, try him. And see, won't he give you a sign? What is it that you want me to do today? And then you see a license plate tag that say sunshine. That means shine your light. Your light is glowing that men can walk past you and be healed. But you got to recognize that the sign is truly coming from God. You got to know that it's God. But until then, it won't. You got to show people, because that is the only way they're going to learn. That is the only way they're going to know who God is in your life. Yeah, I stand behind this camera, but I meet a lot of people on a daily basis. And with it all, I still shine my light. I don't bring my outside world into my work. I don't bring my work home to my children or my spouse. We got to really, and I mean really, understand God really. Or you're going to keep on going in that merry-go-round that you have been doing all your life. Take a good look at your life right now. Are you going in the same circles that you've been going all your life? Something is not aligned. It's not right. Because God is not going to have you going in circles. He's going to have you going up, ascending. He's not going to allow you to keep descending, falling flat on your face. Got to consistently start over. He's not. You're going to consistently keep on rising. Consistently. He said there's no good thing that he will withhold from you. So if that's the case, why do you constantly go around in the same circle? That's not good. That's not good. You gotta trust when God is doing that thing in your life, that he's molding a masterpiece. And when he molds the masterpiece, it will stand the test of time. It will stand it. But you got to know who you are. See, now that I know, and I'm not saying that I've met the highest walker, but I'm more elevated, and I'm so activated, and most definitely motivated to serve God the real and the true right way. So what I have already learned, I teach. And if God so desire for me to say, hey, now you just learned that lesson, I need you to go on there and say this, then I must do it. I must do that. But I don't talk about things that I have not mastered. I get tested before I talk about it. You're going to always get a test about your lessons to see if you mastered it. Once you mastered that test, that situation, that issue, that struggle, then you talk about it. If you still dealing with it, keep your mouth closed, because God move on silence. He moved quicker on silence. So when you see me shut down or shut up, I'm allowing God to do his thing. And don't be like somebody else. Look, I'm going to tell you now. Don't envy nobody. That's a terrible thing to do. You don't know how I got here. You don't know how I got to this place. So to envy me, you want to go through the same thing that put me here? I dare not want to walk a mile in your shoes. Even though I am an empath, I can feel you. But if I see, heck to the no, I ain't walking in your shoes. Because I know how I feel to walk in mine. So to envy you, I dare not. To hold strife against you because you got something I want, I dare not. You don't know how I got it. You don't know what it's for. My mission is not your mission. It's only one me. And there's only one you. So why envy someone? Because the same thing that person got, God might just give you something different or better. I don't see myself as better than anybody. I just know my due diligence and my duty to serve. But you envy and jealous of me, or you envy and jealous of somebody else, you don't want to walk in their shoes. Jealousy, why do you have to be? When all you gotta do is ask God for something that you want. It may not be the same, but it might be close. But you gotta trust that God gonna do that thing. You gotta trust that. And allow him to do what he's gonna do to get you what you want. Because he said his promises are yea and amen. That means he's not gonna discriminate. But you gotta meet the marker. You gotta give him something to get something. What are you giving to even get? What are you trying to develop in yourself that honors God? What are you trying to allow God to see that he's developing you? We got to make this reality of ours make sense. Because I promise you, I ain't bashing nobody. Just because I know who you are, don't mean I don't got no room to talk about you. But when you talking about me, or when you downgrading me and I feel it, I'm going to say something. You got to trust the God in you. You got to trust the God in you. If people talking about you, the God in you is activated. If you feel like it's a bird, the God in you is activated. Allow God to do what he gonna do. This is all I do. Allow God to do. I say not a word. I just allow God to deal with me. I said, look, if I did anything, deal with me. If I said anything, deal with me. But I got nothing but ascension. So I knew. When I said I was coming back, I said, yo, I feel you. I felt the energy like, where's she at? I knew it. I knew people was looking for me like, look, I'm ready for more. I'm hungry for more. But I couldn't get on. I said, what is going on? I'm developing you more, Mia. I'm developing you more, Mia. Be still and know that I'm God. I'm handling it for you. But you are going to be the one that talk about the justice of it. Huh? An earth angel has the power to give justice. The stuff I learned on the sabbatical is outstanding. You will know if you see. God gave me so many signs and I did not know it. I remember the major first sign to let me know who I was is when I fell down the steps of East Point Mall. And this guy out of nowhere, looked homeless, raggedy, and everything, picked me up. I got you. And I just walked off and I was like, thank you so much. Because I just knew my face was going to hit that payment. But when I turned back around, when I got myself together, because I had on white, I'll never forget it. I dusted myself off. And I said, sir, he was nowhere to be found. Nowhere. That was the first major sign that I knew I was an earth angel. So that might be something that you might want to look up. Remember, we all have some type of DNA that's in our blood for real. That comes from God. Jesus, our ancestors, our ascended man. Look, there is some type of ancestral power that lies within you. Remember, the blood of Jesus, what? Covers all, right? So if it covers the blood, he's dwelling you. There's some type of blood lineage that you have from him. So this is why people get that ancestral stuff looked up, because you never know. No, I have not done it. But people get that looked up because they want to know if they have the DNA of Christ. He did what? He came down in flesh. You have to have blood running through your veins to be what? Flesh. So do you have the DNA of Jesus? It's not just my spirit. It's my blood. Stop making these people think you're crazy. You know if you got the blood lineage. If you hate it on all the time, I promise you, you got the blood lineage. If you envied all the time, if people jealous of you all the time, you have the blood lineage. Not resting in you, running through you. So let them hate you. I do. Let them don't like you. I do. Let them be jealous of you. I do. Because at the end of the day, it ain't gonna be nobody downfall but their own. At the end of the day, you gotta trust that God is gonna keep you on the right alignment, the right path to bring his people back home. And that's what I do. To take the people out of the illusion that they've been living in all their lives to the reality of which there is. I do it on an everyday basis. And I live my life accordingly to the word and God's will alone. I don't have to struggle because I do the mission. Hate on it. I don't have to struggle because I already struggle. Hate on it. You can talk about me all you want, but I do what I do because it's God-given. Hate on it. I know where I stand. I know what I'm here for. And I know what this thing is all about. So you either get on board or keep spinning around in them circles. Keep being depressed and oppressed. Keep being used and abused. Keep being manipulated. Because when you get tired of being that clown, and when you get tired of spinning the same wheels, you'll come to realize the truth is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you what? God. When you get tired of hearing the same old word over and over and over, is there anything new? Yes, I say you. But because that's all they know, that's all they gonna teach you. But when it's God, I promise you, it's always elevation, it's always enlightenment, and it's always dearment. It's up for you to stand up for the true and living God. Not the one that he want to say, oh, that's witchcraft. No, baby. It ain't. It's the foundation in which you know it to be. But they don't know it. Because all they know is what they was taught all their life. And of course, they're going to teach you and somebody else too. But when God really download and give you the understanding and the meaning to give you nourishment and building for yourself, good, you'll be in this place too. But until they keep wondering, keep faking the funk, keep dressing it up, make it look pretty. I look good. But really deep down inside, you holding stuff in that you should have let go a long time ago. But no. Why do you feel like you're living beneath your means? Because you have not met the quota of God yet. You have not aligned yet. See, we all supposed to be rich. As he said, we are able to do certain things. We're supposed to say, be that mother be removed. But you can't say that. You're not in alignment. Gotta go to the altar a lot of times. Not in alignment. You want to have somebody keep praying the same thing off of you? You're not in alignment. I don't sugarcoat not a goddamn thing. I've been in that same rodeo. I've been in that same circle, ain't wondering what the heck, what in the world? But when I learned better, I did better. And I'm doing better. Better than I ever done in my life. Because I really know who God is. And what he can do for real. And I ain't faking it for you. And you and you and you. And I ain't saying and I ain't testifying that God did this for me and God did that for me. And then I wanted to turn myself back around and say, God, you did it before, you can do it again. You shouldn't have to consistently say that. Because if you did it before, you do it again. That means if you did it for me, you can surely do it for somebody else. He shouldn't have to do it for you again. If he did it for you. You were supposed to grow from that. You were supposed to learn from that. You were supposed to build from that. You were supposed to be motivated from that and struggle no more. But you never learned from it. That's why you still struggling. That's why you still battling. That's why you still fighting. And that's why you losing motivation in God. Because you're struggling to the fact of the knowledge that you don't know our God for real. You don't know him for real. And the people around you don't know him for real neither. Because if they really knew, you would not have to go off the same struggles that you're constantly trying to get delivered from. Make it make sense. Birds of a feather flock together. Birds of a feather flock together. That means whatever they had going on with them is surely going to be going on with you. That's why I moved away. And when I moved away, I developed the real birds of a feather flocking together. I mastered it. So if I want to live in poverty, I would have stayed where I was. If I would have wanted to live in envy, I would have stayed where I was. If I would have wanted to live in strife, I would have stayed where I was. But I want to live in the riches of God. I want to live in the fullness of the God. I want to master what God has been saying to me all my life. So I moved with the real birds. And we all flocking together. So no, I'm not poor. No, I don't allow people to drain me. No, I don't allow people to misuse me. No, I don't allow people to abuse me. No, I don't allow people to mistreat me. Because I mastered the lesson. So if you want to know why I'm happy, if you want to know why she ain't around me, why she don't deal with me, because I know what dwells in you. And again I say, I don't gotta like you, but I gotta love you. And that's it. And that's all. That don't mean I gotta deal with you. And me looking back is me looking like Lot's wife turning into a pillow of salt. And going backwards to get what? To get what, you say? Makes no sense. It makes no sense to do. So here I say, get on the train. Get on board. Because I'm always here to enlighten you wherever you may be. I deal with people in Africa. I never knew that this was what God was telling me to do. I deal with people in Australia, Canada, this right here, it's a mission that will never go out of order. All y'all naysayers, all y'all wandering mouths, wandering eyes, maybe shoulda, coulda, woulda, whatever the case may be. If you really knew who God was for real, you'll get on your mission too. See, now I know when you dancing and you shouting, you ain't really listening. I always wondered why Caucasian churches sat down and paid full attention. You don't see many Caucasians in poverty. It has to be an ancestral curse or destruction. Wisdom and knowledge telling you why do Caucasians always have the one-up an African American? Because they take knowledge for real and turn it into power. And that's what I learned to develop, not because a Caucasian taught me, but because God did a thing that he knew that I was going to be able to do. And he knew, with people even being on my back, that I was going to take up the mantle and walk with it. I'm a person, I get along with everybody. So when somebody don't get along with me, it make me think a little bit. What is it about you that don't like me? What is it about you that you have against me? I had nothing but Caucasian friends when I was living in Garrett County, and I was like, oh, I get along with them very well. And now I'm in the location where I'm at. I get along with everybody. I mean, yeah, everybody, the old folks, the babies, everybody. But when I was around my family and their friends, and it was wish-washy, I like you now, but I don't like you, I said, the hell with you. God allowed me to see what it really was. And I said, okay, I hear you, I feel you. And it's all good. But know this. I still love you. I still love you. This is words of wisdom. If you have a prophet around you, cherish them. And I'm telling you this because you are messing with fire if you come toe-to-toe with them. If you talk about them, I'm telling you, hear the words that I say. If you know what I know, you better keep your mouth shut off a prophet. Because God don't take it lightly when you come against his, and he know for sure that is his. It's his lineage that you're messing with. It's the power that he has bestowed and invested in them. That's priesthood to its finest. And I'm not talking about the ones that proclaim that they are and have no works. I'm talking about the ones that you know For sure, for sure. You don't gotta call them a prophet and they still operate in it. Keep your mouth off of them. They are God's earth angels. Yeah, they are. And he don't play about them. What you will come to find out is people will always give to them. Because when you bless a prophet, you get a prophet's reward. So if you want to talk about what you gave to a prophet, you might want to think twice. If you want to talk about what you did for a prophet, you might want to think twice. Because you didn't just do it because God allowed you to do it. Just to see what you're going to do about it. So that you can receive whatever reward that he wanted to bless you with. So whether it be damnation, because you want to put your mouth on them, or whether it be the promises of God, whatever that you asked of him. But I advise you to keep your mouth off God's prophets. When you know that you are in a presence of a prophet, I say unto you, bless them, not curse them, because you don't know what will be returned to you. At the end of the day, there is a reward. What reward that you get will be on you. Will be on you. It is the season and the time that prophets, the true ones, are standing up, and they standing up for real. You will see the prophets start separating because they cannot have too many comminglers around them, because the message has to get out, and friendships will be broken. Families will be broken because God is separating right now the wheat and the tare. You thought there was never going to be a separation, but this is the time and the season that God is doing just that. So whether it be your friend, whether it be your brother, sister, mother, whoever that may be, and they start to separate from you must be the tare. God will keep his people in perfect peace with his mind stayed, with their mind stayed on him. So a prophet's mind has to be in perfect peace, because they are the ones that deliver the messages, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. And they always have to be focused for the downloads and the understanding of what God is trying to say to his people. This is the time and the season that we are alerting. But you want to consistently stay in bondage of the past. God is looking for the right now that you get the understanding of enlightenment of who he really is. The principle, the moral character of God is what he is looking for. He's not looking for your beauty. He's not looking for what you can do for somebody. He's looking for your moral character. The structure of him that dwells within you. Don't let him pass you by. Don't miss the mark of the high calling in Christ Jesus. Because at the end of the day, each one of our souls will be required. What do you mean, divine, by required? He's looking for him. The him inside of you. The soul man is what you came down here to do. You signed up for this mission. You said, I'm gonna serve you, God. And I'm gonna serve you the best way I know how. But when you see something that fantasizes you, you turn your back on the mission at hand. So you miss that mark because something better, which you thought was endearing and it turned your eye away from Christ. We don't have time to turn away from God now. But we do have time to be enlightened and get the real fullness of God, the true understanding, the fire baptized God for real. But when are you really, without faking, without going to church when you want, without dancing when it feels good, but really getting an understanding of why you really are serving God? We all think we are serving God for ourselves, which is not true. We're serving God to give him worship, to give him honor. That's it. Because guess what? Everything he already knows about you. So the worship is what he's looking for. He's looking for the worship for you to activate it, for him to move. He's not really, honestly, I promise you, he's not really looking for the praises. He's looking to be worship. He moves faster off of worship. But you want to jump, and you want to skip, and you want to hop, and you want to yellow, and you want to do all that crazy stuff. But when you worship, when you bow down and give God the glory, you really want to see the manifestations of God? Worship him in spirit and in truth. Don't lie to him, because he already seen you from the start. He ain't really asking for your praises. That's just extra. Worship is what he's calling for. Master that, and you master God. When you want to get healed, he ain't asking you to say, God, I need your healing. He's asking you to worship him. He already knows what you stand in the need of. But let's get this understanding. You're not just worshiping him for yourself. It is every knee is going to bow. The ones that did not understand the bowing. Every tongue is going to confess. The ones that's not giving the tongue of worship and glory, honor. You're doing it for them too. Until they get the understanding and the full knowledge of God in worship. This is a serious thing. So I don't got time to keep going in rooms and listening to what you're talking about me. But because God want to show me, I'll sit and see. And then again I say, I'm still rejoicing. And then again I say, I'm still smiling. And then I say, I'm still ascending. So trust and believe. You can do much better using your tongue for worship than putting your mouth in God's vessel, person, or prophet. I don't hold no cut calls, and I'm not holding no cut balls. Because at the end of the day, I got to stand for everything that he say to me to speak or to say. And I'll be the one to hold the charge if I don't say what he told me to say. So I'll take all the hits because I know my hits don't stand. See, we wrestle not against principalities and high places. God has already did that for me. All I do is stand. The darts miss me every time. But I like having the courtesy of taking the sight of you talking. Because every time you talk, my money develops. Every time you talk, I get blessed. every time you talk, this is the prophet's reward every time you put your mouth on them. So keep talking. I like the elevation. I like the ascension. Because every time you do it, touch not my anointed and do my prophet. He ain't say evangelist. He ain't say elder. He ain't say preacher. He ain't say teacher. He said prophet. You want to make that make sense? There's no word change in there. It's no word change. So much stuff was done to Joseph. Behind the scenes. He didn't even know. See, I'm nowhere that you can see me but here. God told me not to make my presence known anymore. So that's what I'm doing. Joseph didn't see what they was doing behind his back. But all he knew, he felt it. He felt the hits. Oh yeah, we feel them. But it causes us to ascend. So you don't know who you are talking about, you backbiter, you narcissist, you manipulator, you hypocrite. Keep your mouth off of God's people because you don't know who they are. I don't care who you talking about. You don't know the tears that they shed. You don't know what they went through. You don't know why they stand where they stand with God. So I advise you as a warning from the Most High God, the divine creator. Hold up. Even your prophets that want to talk about other prophets, now you know. That's a problem. You're supposed to be developing and activating your other siblings. We're siblings. We're siblings in God. There's no way in the world that you should be downgrading your most high sibling. Make that make sense. We're not better than one another. We are here to do the job, and that only. That only. I'm no better than you, and you no better than me. It's a privilege, and it's an honor that we dwell in this camp together. One can chase 1,000, but 10 can put 10,000 to a flight. So why I'm gonna bash you? Why would I hurt you? Why would I manipulate you? Why would I criticize you? Why would I bring you down? When I know when we work together, we only will master it and take it up. Let's be mindful how we use the word. You preachers and teachers that want to switch the word up for what you want it to be, what you think it should be. The word is just what it is, but you manipulator, making it for your own better good, that you can get a shout, that you get in a dance. But you're not putting it out there for God to transcend people. To God ascend his people. We got to be mindful. Revelations talks about adding to and taking away. That's a problem. God ain't playing dumb type of games no more. He said enough is enough. He done had enough with you hypocritical preachers. This is why his people ain't moving in him like they should be. Ain't activated like they should be because you not teaching the right way. You're not bestowing in them the right way. You Ananias and Sapphira. God God is done with it. He's done. I told you at the end of last year, this year is judgment. And he mean just that. So if it hits your finances, know that's your judgment. If it hits your mental, know that's your judgment. If it hits your spiritual, know that is your judgment. If it hits you emotional, where your house is in an uproar, that's your judgment. He is not playing games. He's not. Keep on taking him for granted, and your judgment will be death. And that means literal, because it doesn't have an age on it. If you don't have any purpose under the sun, there is no use for you. He cut down that fig tree when it wasn't bearing fruit. What makes you any different? You got to bear something to live. When you die to yourself, that's when you begin to bear fruit. But if you're not trying to die to yourself, what is the use of you? God's done. The judgment is here. So you might want to take a look at your life and figure out if God sent judgment to you. What has done flipped in your life? What done had changed in your life? Now, look, the judgment is not bad always. If you stood on God with everything around you, regardless of what it was, you got judgment too. I'm sitting pretty in mine, pop my collar. All the hell I paid, all the lies that was on me, all the misuse and abuse, talked about, mistreated, whatever the case was. I ain't do this, God did it. And I love the judgment. So kudos to y'all that's receiving the great, good judgment. The reward has to come somehow. No matter if you say, God, I'm gonna get it right, I'm gonna get it right. There is no get it right for this one. Because the 9-year cycle is over. When you get to the 9th year, he judges it all. He judges it all. And whatever the case may be, you get the reward. I dare not stand in the way of judgment. So no, as much as I wanted to pay respects to somebody, no, I will not be looking like Lot's wife and sitting there and be salty. No, I'm good. I don't want no parts. Because if I go backwards, I'm going to get that reward. I dare not. I dare not. Mess up when I got a good thing. God ain't just talking about your man. He's talking about the goodness of him, baby. I dare not. I love you. Only way I go back is to give a message, and it all has to come from God. Only way I come back is God sent me to redeem somebody. That's the only way you go back with. You pick up somebody and you carry them out. I ain't got that message. So I'm gonna stay right where I'm at. Living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden. I'm doing a mission. And trust me, I ain't hurting nobody. If you salty about what I say, judgment. If you mad about what I said, judgment. All it's saying is you out of alignment. You shouldn't get mad off of nothing that a prophet say, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. Because we're only here to build you. We're only here to build you, to heal you, to motivate you, to push you into destiny. That's what we're here for. So you shouldn't be envy or jealous of me at all. Greater works he's doing in my life. And guess what? I deserve it. And you do too. Y'all leave people alone. In that face, behind that back, leave them alone. Leave them alone. If God didn't say, you speak something in that life, don't say nothing at all. If you don't have nothing good to say, that's what the old folks say. The ones that's transition up out of here. They all saying, used to say, you don't got nothing to say, baby. You don't got nothing to say good. Don't say nothing at all. They said that for a purpose. Because it's going to backfire on you. It really is. It's going to backfire. Trust God in this season. Do your due diligence. Trust God in this season. And do your due diligence. That God will serve justice the way it's supposed to be served. Don't matter how people can dress it up. Want to look fly. But deep down inside, you still got the mess. So I don't care how you look. Make them not really my thing. So I try to be natural and bland as possible. People like, okay, God be the glory. It ain't my own, because I remember I looked at drained. Because I was being drained. If nobody don't motivate you, you motivate yourself to be the best you that you can possibly be. And you got to trust that when you're doing the best that you possibly can be and do, God is going to work out the rest. If only you believe. If only you believe. If only you believe. Your belief system. If you believe you broke, you broke. If you believe you poor, you poor. If you believe you depressed, you depressed. If you believe that you're not healed, you're not healed. If you believe that you're struggling, mind, body, soul, and spirit, you are struggling. But if you believe that you are financially blessed, you're blessed. If you believe that you're fearfully and wonderfully made in Christ Jesus, you are. If you believe that you have everything that God promised you, you have it. If only you believe. Not just because somebody's saying it, but believe it within your mind, body, soul, and spirit. Remember, the three have to work together. You can't have a tug of war or the belief will never come to pass. If only you believe. This is Divine Due Diligence. Signing off. I will be back on. The sabbatical is over. Y'all, the sabbaticals be hard for me. I ain't lying. Because the stuff I see is crazy. But learn. Y'all got to learn when the darks is coming. You always, I'm going to tell you here. You always know when you get ready to get hit, because you'll wake up one day and you're like, something just don't feel right. And when you get that, they coming. If they ain't already start. So this means you start to go into worship, because at the mouth of the worshiper, this is where the darts start to get cast down. But if you don't take it seriously, the hits are hard. As they come. So trust that God has your back. Because if I never trust a day in my life, I trust Him now. And I'll trust Him forevermore. Because I know that His work is doing its due diligence for my life. And I trust, and I solely trust that God is doing the same for you. I pray peace over your life. I pray healing. I pray prosperity. I pray alignment. I pray God's due diligence for your mission and your purpose. That you will stand up according to what God has said in his word. And that you will believe in your heart, mind, soul, and spirit. And that you will come in alignment to serve God and serve him for real. Debunk every surface room preacher, but come to know God for who he really is in your life. And only you and you alone can make that decision to be enlightened under the unction and the power of the Holy Spirit. That rest, rule, and abide hence now and forevermore. And it's in the name of Jesus, God, the Son of God, the authority that rest, rule, and abide. Amen. And amen. We got to trust. And only if we believe. This is Divine Due Diligence signing off. I will be back on, as usual, giving you the enlightenments and the downloads of God that's coming straight from the headquarters of heaven. Peace. Love. Always. No matter if I don't like you. Love. I promise. It's always love. Namaste. That means I bow to and I honor the God that lives and dwells inside of you. That's what namaste means. Have a blessed and prosperous day.